Ex-UF coach Ron Zook, Gators must have patience with Billy Napier, commentary. University of Florida President Ben Sasse and Athletic Director Scott Stricklin aren't asking my opinion, but if they did, I would tell them to ignore the noise in the system and give Billy Napier 2 more years to turn the Gators football program into an SEC contender. And I believe they will for one obvious reason. When Napier was hired, Stricklin gave him a 7-year contract instead of the standard 5-year deal most new head coaches get. Why? Because Stricklin knew Napier was taking over a mess and wanted to give him ample time to build the program the right way. You don't hire a coach and give him a 7-year contract and then cut him loose after 2 or 3 seasons. I think we anticipated this, rebuilding, being a challenge, Napier said after Saturday's season-ending loss to Florida State. I think that we felt like it was going to be a challenge going in, and then when we got here, we realized we were in for a battle. We're in the middle of the process of rebuilding the roster. We're in the process of learning how to make it work at the University of Florida. We were brought here for a reason. The bad news, the Gators lost 5 straight games to close the season to finish with a 5-7 record, and Napier became the first UF coach since 1946-47 to start his tenure with back-to-back losing seasons. The good news, the Gators are one of the nation's youngest teams, played more true freshmen than just about any team in the country, and led in the second half of their final 3 games against nationally ranked opponents LSU, Missouri, and FSU. Napier already has begun the process of overhauling his staff by firing 2 defensive assistants and is said to be considering giving up play-calling duties and hiring an offensive coordinator, so he can focus on cleaning up some of UF's in-game operational blunders, particularly on special teams. None other than former UF coach Ron Zook, who was fired after only 2.5 seasons, but not before recruiting 21 of the 22 starters on successor Urban Meyer's first national championship team in Gainesville, had a message for Gator Nation when I talked to him on Wednesday. If you want the program built the right way, you've got to give the guy, Napier, some time, Zook said. I know Gator fans don't want to hear it, but you've got to have some patience. The bottom line is this: unless the Gators finish with, say, an abysmal 3-9 record and the bottom completely falls out of the program in Napier's 3rd year next season, I believe Stricklin will give him 4 full years. Stricklin, although he hasn't spoken publicly in recent weeks about the progress of the program under Napier, hinted during the summer that he expected this would be a trying season. I don't see any way that Billy won't be successful, Stricklin said then. It just may take a little longer than some people want it to take. Short stuff. Did you see where Sports Illustrated, which gave us such sports writing legends such as Dan Jenkins, Rick Riley, Frank DeFord, and Gary Smith, just got busted for clandestinely using artificial intelligence to write some of its articles? Sadly, as elite rock and roll DJ Taco Bob of WJRR told me earlier this week, SI has become AI. Isn't it only a matter of time now before robots are running the world? There's a narrative out there that the SEC might get 2 teams in the college football playoff if number 8 Alabama upsets number 1 ranked Georgia on Saturday in the SEC championship game. That's nonsense. If the Crimson Tide beat the Bulldogs, I think the SEC will get NO teams in the playoff for the first time in history. If all else goes according to plan, you have to figure Michigan and FSU would be in if they stay unbeaten and win their conference title games. The Pac-12 champion, either number 3 Washington or number 5 Oregon, would be in. And if number 7 Texas beats Oklahoma State in the Big 12 title game, wouldn't they move into the number 4 spot? Seriously, how could you jump 1-loss Alabama over 1-loss Texas when the Longhorns beat the Crimson Tide in Tuscaloosa earlier this season? By the way, if Oklahoma State happens to beat Texas for the Big 12 title, some entrepreneurial UCF fan ought to have some bumper stickers made, UCF 45, Big 12 Champs 3. Mikey likes FSU over Louisville by 6, Alabama over Georgia by 2 in upset special, Texas over Oklahoma State by 10, Oregon over Washington by 12, Michigan over Iowa by 30, Dolphins over Commanders by 14. Bucks over Panthers by 7, Jaguars over Bengals by 12, Dolly Parton over the Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders by 50 years and 100 Botox injections. All the Chicago Bulls had to do was stay within 21 points of the Boston Celtics on Tuesday night, and the Magic would have won the tiebreaker and advanced in the NBA in-season tournament. Instead, the Bulls lost by 27. Moral of the story, Billy Donovan screwed Orlando again. And speaking of the in-season,